Sanford.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hey Sanford, the new local podcast that is filmed right here in Sanford Regional Technical Center, the new studio here.
Yes.
My name is Shawn Sullivan, I'm your host, and this is
James Harmon.
James Harmon, and you're awake this time.
I am awake this time. We're
Second
making it
episode,
through.
you were fast asleep. We had to wake you up.
That baby's sleeping pretty well, I gotta say.
So she's sleeping, Parker is sleeping through the night.
Yeah.
Excellent. Are you?
For the most part, except I have had a lot of work to do catching up. Beginning of the school year, all that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yep. School is now well underway.
Yeah.
And the busy season has begun. The carefree summer has passed. But by the way, that was Brian Boisvert who said, "Hey, Sanford," before the intro jingle. Brian is the director of the Sanford International Film Festival, and he's going to be our guest in a bit. And basically, you used to have that position.
Yeah. I started the festival in
2014, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Spring 2014. And Brian came to the first festival. We got it off the ground in less than 2 months and put this festival together. And he saw some films there and was really impressed, and I guess talked to you.
Became a judge, the second one.
You recruited this amazing group of judges that have really done so much of the work on the festival since. And,
it's fun. You have to love movies.
Yeah. And then last fall, I was like, all right, I think I want to be able to focus more on making videos and teaching and doing cool stuff like this. I still want to help out with the film festival, but who can really step in and take that over? And Brian
Boisvert, our guest this afternoon.
He takes his work really seriously. He does an amazing job. You might not see that in the podcast you're about to listen to, but he's a great guy, funny guy, just like you.
Yeah, well, thank you, James.
And this festival, it's gonna be amazing.
Yes, so that's next month. So Brian will be here to talk about that. And Brian and I, we go back to the 6th grade. So he and I are pretty good at finishing each other's sentences. We're always kind of joking around. So the challenge will be, will I be able to keep a straight face for this thing? That'll be the big challenge.
Oh,
so,
I hope not.
Yeah, well, stay tuned. And, of course, we have a musical guest, Abby Hugo. Please tell us a little bit about Abby.
Yes, she was actually one of my video production students a couple of years ago. And last year, some of my students made a music video for one of her songs. We programmed the music video at the film festival last year. So we're looking for talented, unique, awesome musicians for this. She was one of the first people that I thought of, and she's interested in it. So
and she's going to play the ukulele, right?
Yeah.
Excellent. My daughter has a ukulele. I like the ukulele.
Yeah, so please
I'll be looking
stick
forward
around
to that.
and check that out.
Brian Boisvert and Abby Hugo as our musical guest. After that, please stay tuned. We'll be back after the jingle. Welcome back to Hey Sanford, and we have our first guest this afternoon, Brian Boisvert. This is a great opportunity for the program. Brian and I go back, what is it, Brian? 30?
You're the one with the dates.
1983, 6th grade.
Yeah, so 36 years, is that right?
Yes, and did we ever think we would be interviewing on a podcast? And probably not.
Yeah.
But as we said during the intro, Brian is the director of the Sanford International Film Festival, which is in its 6th year. And Brian, please tell us a little bit about the Sanford International Film Festival.
Well, it's an exciting event for Sanford. It's actually pretty well respected as far as film festivals go. In the industry, I guess, or around the festivals. Actually, James Harmon started it 6 years ago.
6 years ago in Sanford, yeah.
And run it for the past 5 years. It's my first year, kind of taking the reins, so I get some big shoes to fill, but I hope it works out well. We show a bunch of independent films at different venues throughout town.
From around the world, right?
All around the world, yeah. So it's an international film festival. That scares some people off sometimes. They think boring subtitled black and white French film or something when they hear that, but it's much more than that. These are really exciting films. Sci-fi films, dramas, comedies. There's
funny comedies, yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of runs the gamut. It's really it's a great event.
And I should add, right? I work alongside with you on the festival as a judge.
Yeah, you're a judge. You watched hundreds of hours of
yes.
film this year. So
what happens, right, is that the festival opens on January 1st.
Yeah, so we review films for the first 6 months of the year. Basically, it opens the window for submission opens on January 1st and closes at the end of June, and so we have 6 months of submission. This year we got almost 700 submissions, totaling I think it was like 280 hours of content. So there was a lot to watch.
And in the end, how many films made the final cut for the festival?
We narrowed it down to 62 films and 30 hours. So there's a lot of painful cuts to make. That's one of the hardest processes, is going through. Some of them are easy to jettison. You're like, yeah, that wasn't very good. That certainly happens. But you're left with a lot of great content, great films, and some of them just don't make the cut.
Yeah, and it's next month, correct?
It is, yes. It's in October. We're going to do a sneak preview weekend two weeks before. So October 4th and 5th, that Saturday, Friday and Saturday, we're going to do a little sneak peek. We're going to have some fun things, maybe a guest or two.
Nice.
The festival proper is the 16th through the 19th. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 2 weeks later. So.
Nice. And so details on the sneak preview that first weekend of October are to be determined. So how can people keep an eye out? Where should they?
So definitely. I'm glad you mentioned that. We do have a website, sanfordfilmfest.com, and everything will be posted up there. We also have a Facebook page, Sanford International Film Festival. So I'd recommend
so people can like it.
People like that page. You're going to get tons of detail on what's coming up.
And can you, the festival is actually quite a few days in October. Let's see, about four days.
4 days, yeah.
And can you kind of walk us through how it's going to unfold?
Sure.
Starting with what dates and
sure.
What have you?
So we open on the 16th of October. That's a Wednesday. It's going to be Wednesday night, and we're calling that like Grindhouse Wednesday. It's going to be kind of like exploitation films and sort of kind of grindhouse films, some gangster stuff and things like that. So we have 3 films that evening, and then the next evening on Thursday we show kind of. The original plan was to make it kind of family friendly. We're pushing the boundaries a little bit on that. It's more kind of PG-13, some of the stuff. Sure. But that's something we're going to do on Thursday, and then Friday is our horror Friday. That's always a big hit.
Yes.
Every year.
That's a 12-hour marathon.
It is a 12-hour marathon.
Noon to midnight.
Smitty's. At Smitty's.
Mm-hmm. Located at Route 109. What's on Saturday?
Saturday is we just call it SIF Saturday. We do blocks of different content. So we start off with a block of music videos. Then we do we have like a surreal block with just kind of strange films that are hard to describe. We have a sci-fi segment, comedy, drama. Nice. There's some great documentaries that night that will have a local interest that I think people will really enjoy.
So something for everybody.
Yeah, definitely. And you can sit through the whole thing, or you can come for a particular segment, whatever your interests are.
And on Friday, absolutely something for horror fans.
At Smitty's.
At Smitty's again. We've had a horror movie icon come to Sanford.
We've had
Gunnar Hansen.
Gunnar Hansen, yeah.
Known as
Leatherface
in
from
Texas
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, from 1973, I think that was, or 4. Early 70s. And Gunnar Hansen, who played Leatherface in that film, came to Sanford, I think that was just a few years ago. And the two of us, and it was also James Harmon, and Rick Stanley, the Chamber of Commerce president, we all went to lunch with him.
We did, yeah. So
you talk a little bit about that.
You Shawn gave me a call and said, do you want to go have lunch with Leatherface? I had just started getting involved in the festival at that point. I was a judge, and yeah, I got a kind of a surreal phone call. You want to have lunch with Leatherface? And of course, the answer is yes.
Oh, he was a great guy.
He was fantastic. He had he's much more than Leatherface. I mean, he had multiple degrees. He's just a really fascinating, interesting guy,
and a gentle giant in person.
Yes,
very soft spoken, very friendly. Was very generous with his time. He spent a lot of time on Horror Friday, signing autographs, taking questions and answers from the audience.
Okay, it was a day of just surreal moments. I remember, you and I were waiting in the lobby for him to arrive, and he comes in, and I mean, he's what was he, 6'7"? I mean, he's a large man,
big guy. Yeah,
he's a large man, and he comes in, and no one recognizes him. No one knows who he is, and
he wasn't wearing his mask.
I'm so pleased
he wasn't wearing his mask. So everyone just kind of ignored him. I mean, no one was paying any attention. And he kind of walks into the lobby of the old Smitty's and kind of tucks himself into a corner. And then he's scanning the room, and we see his eyes catch ours. And he's like hi like that. and I remember I turned to you, I'm like, is this happening right now? Like Leatherface is waving to us. He's excited
his
to see us.
point of contact, his familiar face in the crowd.
Exactly.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah, no.
Now you actually sat directly next to him throughout the screening that evening of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I did, yes.
And he would whisper things in your,
Yeah, I mean, it was like a little, like a DVD audio commentary or something during the film. He kept like leaning over, and he's like, "Oh, you see that little piece of paper sticking out of the guy's shirt? That's his paycheck. He wouldn't finish the scene until he got paid, And he's giving me little details about the movie. It was a blast.
It was a surreal experience.
Yes.
Nice. Now, you kind of touched upon this, Brian, but maybe we could build on it. For people who are not necessarily, who love movies but may not be inclined towards independent film, that might be happy to go see The Avengers or even some of the Oscar fare that will come out later this year. But when it comes to films off the beaten path, so to speak, from around the world, like you said, with subtitles and themes that you don't usually come across perhaps in mainstream films, what do you say to them to get them to realize that this is really a wonderful festival, one that they should give a shot?
It's tough. That is definitely, there are people who love going to film festivals, and then there are people who just, that's like a foreign thing to them, no pun intended, international, but, it's just something that they're not used to. And I could just say, I guess trust us. I mean, they're great films that you're going to have a blast, even if, it's hard to drag people to a theater to see something that isn't, Marvel or Pixar or something like that, something they're more familiar with. These are great films. We've got some great animation. We've got wonderful sci-fi. We've got
some scary, creepy horror films. Some very funny comedies.
Yeah, and we have some feature films too. I think there's 12 films that are over 70 minutes. They're like fully feature length, professionally done films, just on a independent level.
And they range from that to a few minutes to 15 minutes
to
half an hour. There's quite a variety.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. There's kind of something for everyone. So yeah, I would encourage people to go to the website and look through the films. There'll be trailers there and all kinds of things to poke through. But if something catches your eye, give it a shot.
And again, for the schedule, they can go to the website.
SanfordFilmFest.com.
And they'll find the schedule
with descriptions and trailers and all kinds of information.
Now, how about admission prices? Anything related to that?
It's all going to be very reasonably priced. We're still kind of working out the prices right now, but it's all very reasonably priced. Some nights are going to be free. We just love to see you.
Yes.
And Saturday, for example, is going to be free if you bring a donation to Stuff the Bus. Some
very nice.
School supplies or something you can get in free with school supplies, and we're also going to have a complete package for people who want to come and go and be available, be able to go to any night out of the 4. Also, we have an awards night that's catered at the town club, and that'll get you into that after party at Boulderama.
Saturday evening,
right?
Yeah. The 19th is that?
That is the 19th. You're right.
Saturday the 19th. Okay, and describe a little bit for those who say, "Oh, an awards night, I can go." Great. What does that entail? How does that night unfold?
So as part of this, we have we're going to have nominees. Some of these films are going to be nominated for just like Oscar categories, right? Best Picture, Best Comedy, Best Actor, Actress, stuff.
And
like
we
that.
have our own Oscar, don't we? Our own version.
We do. It's modeled after the statue of Thomas Goodall that's in Central Park. We call it the Tommy.
Yes. Yes. And, James Harmon and his students work on that.
Exactly. That comes right out of this building. That comes out of the SRTC.
Yeah. So we'll be awarding Tommies and other awards for other film superlatives.
Mm-hmm.
And the evening will also include the showing of a film that won the screenplay last year. Is that correct?
Yeah. So as part of the Film Fest, we also accept screenplays, short screenplays, 30 pages or less, in addition to films. This year we got, I think, 31 screenplay submissions. So
wow.
We get a significant number. And we, as part of that, it's one of the awards. Best Screenplay is one of the awards, and the one that wins, as part of the winning, it's James.
James,
I have
and his
nothing to do
crew.
with this.
Although last year you did.
Last year
You had a role in
had
the winning film.
my acting debut last
Tell
year.
us a little bit about that.
So last year's winner was a kind of a fun pirate film called Clutched, and I played the cafe owner because we were short on cast.
And that filmed right here in town. That's the thing, right?
It was filmed. Yeah, it was
locally.
filmed right at Shane's, and
of Maine,
partially on location at Wells Beach because it has a beach segment to it,
Yeah.
and kind of all through the magic of editing, it all became one location.
And you did a great job. You had a little pirate hat, as I recall.
I had, yes. So we built my character. Some of the other actors and I, and I decided I characterized it after the Judge Reinhold character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, who has to wear a pirate hat. I think he's like a
Right.
Red Lobster or something he works at, and he just kind of hates his life, and you can tell. And so I kind of.
You channeled that character.
Yeah, I went with that.
That was a classic movie.
Yeah.
Now,
So we film the screenplay, and then we premiere it at awards night.
Nice.
So it's
now this one, we actually, the viewers watching this podcast can't see it, but you and I are in right next to the set.
Yeah, that's right.
For the one that is currently in production, that won last year. Can you tell us a little bit about that script?
So it's our first local win. It was written by
Manly Irish.
Manly Irish, who lives, I believe, in Springville. I mean, he's a local person. It was a fantastic script. It's like a crime drama kind of thing, and it's filming in Sanford currently, and
right here in the studio and in other locations,
and other locations around Sanford.
And it's directed by Anthony Gaudette.
Yes.
And Pete Yagman, who actually won an award last year.
Yeah, he's a
audience
filmmaker.
favorite.
He won the audience award last year for a little 2-minute film that he made that was kind of gory and creepy, and it was kind of a big hit on Horror Fridays.
He's from Massachusetts. He's going to be the cinematographer on this production. Nice. Yeah. And will that be shown on awards night, that film, if ready?
Yep, it will.
Excellent. All right, so we have the Sanford International Film Festival, the 6th one, taking place next month. First, with a special preview during the first Friday and Saturday in October, with specifics such as a venue to be determined. So people should check the website for information regarding that.
Or like the Facebook page.
Then from there, we're off to Wednesday, October 16 through Saturday, October 19, with a full slate each day of these independent films from around the world and here at home. And again, the website or the Facebook page for anybody who wants to map out, wants to schedule or plan their movie going during that stretch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Good summary.
Nice. So when you came on as a judge, I think it was for the second film festival that you did.
It was, yeah. I was just a spectator for the first one.
Right.
But,
did you think you'd become director at one point?
No, absolutely not.
James, of course, left big shoes to fill, but you're doing a wonderful job. And James, of course, is still on with us and very much involved in the festival.
Yes, he is. He's very, very helpful. Yeah.
Yes, and this is part of a lifelong love of movies that you've had. And so
yeah, absolutely. Well, both of us. I mean,
exactly.
I think we go to the movies, a couple times a month.
We go to the movies all the time together. In fact, in high school, right, Brian, we were the film critics for the Sanford High School Red and White newspaper.
We were.
Shawn and Brian's Box Office Babble is what it was called. And they gave us we had a little stipend each month, and we could go see as many movies as we wanted to, and all we had to do was write reviews. Yeah. Rate the movies on a scale of 1 to 4 stars, rate the reviews, and then they came out.
We could do that on this podcast.
We could make
Shawn
and Brian's Box Office
a new
Babble.
segment.
The return. Yes.
Yeah. People have been asking. So.
they have been demanding our return. Yes. And every issue, I believe, of the Red and White that we wrote for is on display, or is available, I should say, at the local historical museum. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I think it's true. I think I've seen them. And,
excuse my grammar, I suppose.
Mine too, yes. So, Brian, this has been a pleasure. Like I said, we've known each other for 35, 36 years, and here we are involved in the film festival together, and hopefully people will come out and enjoy all these films. We'll laugh. We'll be afraid of the scary stuff, enjoy the dramas. Yeah, a lot of good films. And so please consider coming to the film festival next month. And, Brian, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and we'll see you at the festival.
All right. Thanks.
All right. We'll be back. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, our musical guest, Abby Hugo.
So this first song is called Unhappy. I wrote it kind of as a joke. It was supposed to have like depressing words, but like an upbeat tune. And so, yeah. I've got scars up and down my arms and legs. I've got punch marks in my wall from bad days. I've got a brother who's always overdosing. I got built up anger towards my dad, and it goes without him knowing. My mom has a hole inside her brain, and my brother likes to drink away the pain. And it's not like anyone is asking if I'm okay, but if they did, I'd probably just say I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. I don't want to be here anymore. Waking up, getting dressed, leaving home has lately become a chore. I'm not saying that I'm gonna take my life. I'm just saying that I am not alright. And it's not like anyone is asking if I'm okay, but if they did, I'd probably just say I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy. Now don't you see why I am depressed? Tragedies seem to happen all the time to me. I never get a rest. Now don't you see why I am depressed? Tragedies seem to happen all the time to me. I never get a rest. And it's not like anyone is asking if I'm okay, but if they did, I'd probably just say I'm fine. I'm alright. These things happen all the time. I'm fine. I'm alright. These things happen all the time. I'm fine. I'm alright. These things happen all the time. I don't know why this surprises me anymore. This always happens. It's like karma's knocking at my door. And maybe if I was nicer, more polite, and didn't start up fights, maybe it's me that makes me. Maybe it's me that makes me. Maybe it's me that makes me unhappy. So the second song I didn't have a name for until today, which I decided to name it Sunshine, because you need sunshine on bad days. And it's kind of the same concept as the last song, of where it's a sad beginning, but it kind of just picks up towards the end. I don't believe in happy endings like when I was younger, 'cause back then everything was a fairy tale, yet there were kids dying of hunger. And I don't believe in love like I used to. My innocence was robbed from me, and everything that I've grown to know to be isn't what it seems. But I'm wishing, wish I could go back. I wish that I could find my right path. I wish I didn't cry myself to sleep at night. I wish I was alright. I don't see the world like I used to. My perception has changed, and go ahead, you can call me crazy, psycho, or maybe a little deranged, but I've recently seen things that were always sheltered from me, and all the things my parents didn't want me to see, I've seen. So that's why I'm wishing, wish I could go back. I wish that I could find my right path. I wish stealing and lying got me wondering, is it me? And I'm so tired of feeling this way. I'm waiting for the day where the sky isn't gray. I'm waiting for sunshine and sunny skies, and for the day I can say I'm alright. But for now, well, I'm wish I never cried myself to sleep at night, 'cause lately everything is feeling alright. I got a family, they always kiss me goodnight, and some friends to push away the demons when they bite. So I'm alright, it's a long battle, but I'm gonna win this fight. I'm alright, it's a long battle, but I'm gonna win this fight.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing your talents with us. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Abby Hugo playing Unhappy and Sunshine, the newly named Sunshine. And that does it for episode 3 of Hey Sanford. We will see you next time. Take care, everybody. How do you work this thing? Do you know?